Facts First presents. Florida couple finds heartbreaking message in a bottle that sparks incredible journey to find sender. Be sure to click that like button and also subscribe and click the notification bell so you don't miss our future videos. In September 2017, the state of Florida was in full emergency mode. Hurricane Irma was on its way and scheduled to hit Florida head-on. When it started out in the Atlantic, it was the most powerful storm ever recorded. When it hit the northeastern Caribbean islands, it caused catastrophic damage. And next, it was moving on to the U.S., straight toward Florida. While Irma was headed toward the Florida shore, millions of people were being evacuated. It was the state's largest mass evacuation on record. The power was down, the people were panicking, and two residents, they were headed in the wrong direction. They were headed toward the water. Nikki Snow is an Eastern Florida State College business student. She and her boyfriend, Alan Gibson, they wanted to see Hurricane Irma approaching on September 10, 2017. So rather than evacuating, they went east from their home in Melbourne, Florida, to the barrier island that separated them from the open waters of the Atlantic. It was around 3 p.m. when the young couple walked down an empty stretch of beach. Before the hurricane headed towards Florida, there were tiki huts set up along this shoreline. The couple watched and waited for the hurricane while the winds began to pick up. Nikki and Alan were taking pictures and video of the beach. They were strangely excited about the danger that was looming on the horizon. As the wind force picked up rapidly, the couple realized that it was going to be way too dangerous to be that close to the water, so they decided to seek higher ground. As they were running hand in hand trying to fight against the wind, they saw something on the ground that caught their eye. It was something that they just couldn't leave behind. Nikki and Alan saw a bright green wine bottle sticking up out of the sand on the Atlantic beach. Thinking that it was probably just garbage left behind by a beachgoer, they went to pick it up to throw it away. But when they got close, they realized there was a cork on it. And they looked in the bottle, and it wasn't filled with wine. There was a note on the inside. Both Nikki and Alan were obviously curious at this time, but they didn't have time to read the note right then and there. The wind was picking up, they had to seek shelter, so they held on tight to the bottle and each other and continued their search for higher ground. When the couple returned to their home in Melbourne, they decided to hunker down for the storm. While waiting it out, the couple took the note out of the bottle. They couldn't wait to see what it would say. Unfortunately, they were not able to read the note. It was written in Spanish, and neither of them understood the language. Nikki posted the note on Facebook to see if any of her friends could translate. But Alan had a better idea. Alan was a cook at a Cuban restaurant in Melbourne called Alhambra Cubano. He brought the letter to work and asked the kitchen manager, Alfredo Hernandez Froment, who was bilingual, to translate the note for him. Alberto was glad to help, and he was curious about what the note said too. The note was not randomly sent. It was actually asking for help. While Alan was having this letter translated, Nikki was doing the same. She got in touch with a Spanish instructor from the Florida Institute of Technology who was willing to translate the letter as well. The author of the letter was a young woman living on a tropical island. She desperately wanted to improve her life. She added the note to Mother and poured out her struggles into the letter. She poured her heart and soul into it, put it in the bottle, and then set it adrift. The bottle could have washed up on the shore where it was sent off from, but it didn't. The bottle made it across the ocean hundreds of miles until it washed up on the Florida shore. The author of the letter was Shalia Lynn. She was from Havana, Cuba. The 25-year-old was an R&B singer and pianist. She found success at a young age and landed the lead role in Disney's The Princess and the Frog. She released her first album in 2012. Sadly, she felt that her career was soon standing still. She wanted her career to go much further than it did. Well, after praying in her church, she wrote that note and threw it into the Havana Bay. Alberto decided to reach out to Shalia to let her know that her message had been found. When she first read his email, she wasn't sure if it was a hoax. When he convinced her that he was on the up and up, the two began conversing regularly. Shalia opened up to him about her struggles, and he decided to help. He had some connections in America, and now she's in the process of getting a band together, and Alberto believes that it is his destiny to help her out. The note made it to him for a reason, and he wants to see it through. Subscribe for more.